Peace, peace, family. Welcome back to another Sunday dinner. We back with another banger, of course.
Yes, peace, peace, family.
I got
Another
time.
Sunday dinner with the tribe.
Yes,
Another
yes.
Sunday dinner with the tribe. It's so good to be here one more time to be able to dive in, deep dive, deep dive, deep dive, and just fellowship. Oh, I say woman. I won't use the word fellow because it just sounds like just a male thing, but just to commune. Let me use that. Just to commune together. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
to break bread. Yeah.
So real
Queen,
quick.
how are you doing? How was your week? Go ahead.
No, I was about to ask the same question. I was about to say, Queen, before we get started, how was your week? Awesome.
Not hear, didn't hear you clear. I didn't hear you clear, Queen. I guess she away from her mic. But all is well on my side. My week was my empowering days. I don't know this word weak. I wasn't weak at all this week. I was so empowered and infused, and I am now even more empowered than I was before. You understand? A friend of mine, she is, I call her my analytical friend. She's deep diving into learning our birth charts and all these different things. So she was sharing some stuff with me in terms of your first house and your second house and all this different stuff that I didn't know nothing about, honestly. But then when I started reading some of the things that she sent me and stuff according to my age and with certain things that had transpired during certain ages and stuff like that, I was like, oh wow. Literally, when there was a Bible story talk about when Herod, I think it was Herod, when he saw the star, or when the wise men saw the star appear, they just knew that this Messiah was born. And so it's a said each one of us is assigned a star, a time, a set time that we was born that is placed there to tell us about ourselves. Boy, come on, to come back to this topic, the power of the past. If we could truly understand what they've been trying to show us in the past and show us, we
Yes.
could really orchestrate and maneuver in the future, maneuver in our present, because we know, yes, we know our past, present, and future all coexist with one another, shake hands with one another, because everything that is already was and everything that will be has already been. Wow. Let me say that again. Everything that was already is, and everything that will be has already been. And so if we could align ourselves, and that's why they tell us to do shadow work. What is shadow work? Our past, healing some things from our past. So that's to tell us our past is very powerful.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Mhm.
Ashe. Yeah, I think my mic was muted, guys. I'm sorry about that. I don't know.
I heard you.
Yeah, there. Now we can
Oh, okay.
listen. Yeah,
Okay.
I can, I can, I can hear you loud and clear now. That energy just pop out of there just now, man.
Oh, yeah, I thought my mic was muted.
Queen, Queen, let me tell you something. You carry a level of authenticity and power when your voice is heard, that really moves some things out of the way. So if you don't use your voice enough, I think you need to use your voice even all the more now. Not only just in penmanship and writing things down, but even in terms of just, yeah, sharing some things vocally in the atmosphere and commanding and shifting and changing things. That's the voice I hear from you.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
I
That
appreciate
voice
that
that shifts
confirmation.
things.
I've been
Yeah.
hearing that all month. So I definitely have
Wow.
heard that. I've been hearing that all month. it's crazy because I had an incident and the cops was called, and like I was speaking and he said, "Wow, your voice is very powerful." And I was like, "What?" Like he like, just lower yourself a little. I said, "No, this is how I talk. Like this is how I talk. Like this is what it is. It's nothing." You know, he said, "Wow."
Oh
Like,
goodness! So that's the two of us. My goodness, I had an incident today too that the cops had to come by. The
mm,
Queens, the
Crazy.
Queens are.
yeah.
What? And it's like, what is it about our voices that just it intimidates people? Like it bothers people, and you're not even being loud or nothing. You just
It's that authority.
yeah.
That's authority.
It's that authority. You know what I'm saying? When we speak, we hold
And
authority. We're already demanding the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the authenticity of your spirit, of who you are, your aura. You understand when you're walking in your power, knowingly and unknowingly, when you're authentic, you show up as your authentic self. But the minute you open up your mouth, things just commands attention.
Right.
Your presence commands attention, and then when you open up your mouth, it commands another level of attention. One of my mantras that I say is, I am an atmosphere changer, and wherever I go, the atmosphere must change.
Facts. 1 second, sister. We want to give a special shout out to Haywood Jablomi. He's ill. Shout out to
Sending positive
Haywood. Get well.
Sending positive, sending positive vibrations, high vibrations, healing vibrations.
Haywood, if you are watching, or the person who put that in the comments, please make sure they turn their TV on or their phone on, because we're gonna talk about something that, you know, people. This guy ain't been getting sick since he's done this, so we're gonna get into it in just a minute. But make sure he's watching so he could. The power is in us. It's also in that bacteria that's 3.5 million years old, but we're gonna get into that. So shout out to Haywood.
Absolutely, definitely.
Shout out Haywood, sending positive vibrations your way.
Yes. Peace, Hooks.
Peace, brother.
Peace,
How
Hooks. J Hooks, the great.
We are in high today, man. Yeah, I like that. You know what I mean? You always coming with something new, man. I like it.
I appreciate you, God. What's
Everybody
the topic for today? What are we talking about today?
Some divine energy today, man. I'm loving it. Y'all all got some divine energy today. Not that you don't have it every day, just it seems to be in more upper these spirits.
Yeah, it's that time. It's that time, brother. We all rise.
Yes. So welcome everybody. Yes, the topic again is the power of the past.
So we rise.
Yes.
Power of the past.
Yeah, the power of the past. We a lot of us don't realize that there's nothing new under the sun. We've been preconditioned to think that quantum computing is new, automobiles, planes is new, but
time travel is not new.
Right, we keep finding evidence of the past that, you know, they want to call it a bird and call it a fish or something, but you can clearly see it's a plane. But only the weak-minded or the blind will fall for that.
Okay.
So
I don't know about this one, family. Man, I think I'm gonna have to sit back, put my camera on mute, and just listen to y'all on this one. The power of the past.
Oh, you're gonna have something, brother. I promise you, you're gonna have something. I can feel it.
What's your lead?
There's never a time we put a topic on the table that none of us not have something to say. When the energy moves, it moves.
Yes, facts. You said, what's my leading point or perspective on it? Well, I don't know if y'all can see the title of this video. We got posted here that we about to play. It's just a little short about this Russian scientist who injected himself with a 3.5 million year old bacteria. And he tested the bacteria on mice and rats and, other animals. And something in his spirit, something in his discernment said, I'm going to inject myself with it. Like he knew that it was not something harmful. And it turned out to be correct that when he injected himself with it, he's not been sick. He's undergone like all kinds of different changes biologically. And so he's not dealing with the same ailments that everybody else around him is dealing with. And obviously, they're going to suppress stuff like this, or they want you to believe that you need to go to the pharmacy to get, this cure or this, well, what they don't call a cure, excuse me, to get this aid. But we don't need that. Everything's in the earth, everything's in our past. If we just research it and we look up the herbs and the different mushrooms and the different parts of roots and everything, it's already been here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so that's just a perspective on that, the piece of the actual video that we're talking about. But as far as like the past goes, there's so much evidence showing us that the past was doing big things, major things.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been lying to us, telling us that we were just, lesser species, or we were, doing, yeah.
So
I don't want to
definitely agree with that.
I don't want to get us cut off, so I'm watching what I say. I don't not cut off, but you know what I mean, like shadowed and all that craziness. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with that as far as the power of the past. Once you start to uncover the truths, especially, for learning where we really come from, that do make you feel more powerful, and that's why they done such an outstanding job of making sure, or trying to make sure, that we forget that, So that definitely comes to mind to me as far as power in the past. It's knowing your real greatness, the real essence, what you really come from, and then also seeing the things that we overcame makes me feel more powerful. Seeing all the things that was put in place to keep us from rising, but yeah, we still found a way. So with that being said, it's definitely power in the past.
Facts.
Yeah, facts. When you think about it also, we always was. We are not just being, just now, when we were born through our mother's womb. We were always in existence. But when we don't know that, we don't acknowledge the power of our past and where we come from and who we always was. That's where we suffer the memory loss, the psychosis, the suppression of our Akashe records and stuff like that. So they're the things that they put in place, the stumbling blocks, the roadblocks they put in place, that you don't tap into your past to know that you've always been. Tap into your Akashe records of your DNA, of your 12-strand history of who you always been. You have the power to overcome these various ailments and stuff like that. They don't want you to know that your body is able to regenerate, rebuild itself. Every year you become a better you, a newer you, a higher version of yourself. But unless we tap into that history, that past, our story about and knowing the power that we have, it is really it is what's stagnating us from walking in the fullness of our power. So it is a must that we be able to connect the dots of our past and all that we've like Jay Hooks was talking about in terms of seeing the things that you overcame. But guess what? They're the things other people have overcome, but seeing the things that you personally yourself in this lifetime has overcome, the accidents that could have been, the sickness and the disease that could have been, but for some reason your DNA, what they call the junk DNA, was able to be triggered to heal that infection or heal that disease or heal whatever that ailment was. It was not the antibiotics, because the antibiotics and all those different things are given to us to suppress and treat symptoms, but to eradicate that sickness completely out of your body is you doing that yourself. But if you don't know that, if you don't tap into your past to know what you was able to do to be able to continue to do it, that's where we fall short in terms of the power that we have to heal ourselves, to quantum jump, quantum leap, to astral project, and to teleport. All of these are powers of our past that we have already had and have proof of being done.
Yeah. Facts. Well said, sister. Well said. Ashe.
Yeah.
Stay.
Yeah, and with that being said, it's like I said once before on here. I think a lot of people spend too much time thinking about the things they did wrong in the past, and you need to take some time to focus more on your positives. That'll bring you power from the past too. When you just focus on all the good stuff that you did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Of course, those negative thoughts gonna creep in, but you gotta push those out and just focus on. And that'll raise your vibration too.
But not only that, think about this, Jayhawks. Think about this. We say the negative stuff, the bad stuff, the wrong stuff. But who labeled as that? What if they were all a part of your experience here? Not even what if they were a part of your experience here to direct you and to steer you into the things that on where you are. We allow people to label our experience as good or bad.
Yeah.
Right and wrong.
Yeah.
When it's all a part of our experience.
Yeah. And for those listening,
so now,
go ahead, sister.
So let me just So now when we look at them, we should look at them. Okay, what did I learn from this? What I need to correct about this? You see what I'm saying? That's the power of looking back into our past as markers and learning and milestones. Go ahead.
Yeah. And, for those listening, we appreciate y'all. And we want to let y'all know, if you never heard this before, or you never knew this before, pay close attention, because it's important that you understand your power, and that the past, whether it was viewed as bad before, that you now look at it in a way. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you some advice that I've used. And you look at it in a way that has actually brought you to the moment that you are now. Right? So look at it as not as everything was bad or everything happened to you, but it happened for you to grow, for you to be the best version of you, for you to be who you are today. Because without that, you wouldn't be what you are. I love that tree behind you, bro. It looks like it's growing out of your skull when you sit down. That's just, I had to say that.
For real.
They try to tell me to cut this tree down when we got it. I said, man, I'm not ready for this. He talking about something. It might blow down and fall on the garage. I said, I'd rather for it to fall on the garage than me cut this tree down. That's not happening.
Yeah, right. They always want to cut something, or want you to destroy something, or want you to cut into yourself, or come get this surgery, or come get this. If I look into my past and my ancestors and how they handle stuff, when they did surgery, it was an emergency. Other than that, they went outside. They went to the forest. They went to the roots. They went to the herbs. They went to the water. And like this gentleman found that 3.5 million year old bacteria that's still in our water today. That, you know, but that's why they're putting all the fluoride and the metals and the oils, and they're calling it, oh, it's just an oil spill. No, y'all are dumping it on purpose so you can contaminate what's already been here. And you know you cannot destroy it because it's immortal, just like we are. You're stopping it from having any effect because you're adding so much poison to it, fluorides and oils and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had tapped out for a second, guys. My bad. I kind of didn't hear anything, so I hope I don't repeat anything. In reference to the power of the past. I had a lot of things going through my mind just hearing this topic and hearing Dr. Sublime speak and y'all speak in reference to it, and it's like a lot of us, because we are shielded and we do have this veil over us, we don't, like y'all say, we don't really realize how powerful the past is. Because I was thinking about it in a sense that they keep putting a lot of things before us that's telling us it was our past, but they never put the things before us that can actually help us to be better. Like they're not teaching us or showing us the power we had when we were standing up for ourselves, when we had these slaveries, or we had these catastrophes being formed against us. They don't tell us that. It's a lot of things they keep from us because they don't want us to bind together. They don't want us to know that we are powerful in a way. And I do realize a lot of people, they don't see power in their past because they're still holding on to the pain of their past. Like they don't really realize that pain is actually keeping them stagnant. And instead of looking at the pain of what it was and seeing how that it actually made them powerful and that they actually did get through it because they are here today. They're only in that pain mentally, but physically and spiritually, they're far from it. They don't even see the tries and how they actually got through it because they're dwelling in it mentally, feeling like that's something they're still going through. But when you take a bird's eye view and you step back, you can actually see how you made it out. You can actually see how that instead of you holding on to the past and the way that thinking that is making you less than or making you feel like you haven't grown, when you're actually present, patient, and positive with what's going on around you, you can see how you have grown and how you do have power and how strong you are. And that no matter kind of what you're going through, you do have the tendency to get through it because you got this far. You know, that was a lot in one sentence, but yeah, like, a lot of people dwell in their pain. I noticed that in our society, you know, when we try to talk to people like, oh, you know, let it go, they feel some type of way about being told to let something go or move on for something that they didn't really decide on for themselves. You know, it's different when somebody's telling you to let something go opposed to you sitting in it, going through it and feeling like, you know what, it is time to let it go. So I feel like we did a podcast on this before, though, the power of the past. Did we not?
I
don't think so.
No, I think we've brushed it in other topics. We've kind of brushed by it as far as the past, but we never really dove deep into actually how powerful our past really is and what they like. We've always talked about like what they're keeping from us and stuff like that, but
okay, just not in the form of spiritually, mentally, and emotionally.
Right, exactly, yeah.
It's into it. What you say? I'm Dr. Sublime.
Not deep diving into it and how powerful, I mean, how truly we can learn and extract from it to catapult us even further into our future, how it could be a part of our healing process, and why they tell us to do shadow work, why it's so necessary for us to do shadow work, because shadow work means going into your past, checking what's behind you, check what you've passed through, been through, that you can use.
That's the first thing that just came to mind for me. It's like, damn, power of the past, because lately I've been so focused on, you know, kind of releasing the past. So that's why I'm like, dang, power in the past. But like we saying, you know, when you focus on the good things, the motivational things, then it definitely is power in the past.
But even with releasing it, you can't release it until you go back into it. You have to go back into it to actually release it. So that comes with feelings, that comes with emotion, that comes with understanding why you have to release it. And sometimes it comes with you writing a letter to your past and releasing it without that person even being there to have to release it in front of, right?
Mhm.
So you still have to go back through it. And that's what they said, like that shadow work, to really say you done shadow work, you had to feel it. It's because it's a feeling. It's not just a thought. It's something you feel, because to say you're going back in it, like you're actually reliving it, to now tell yourself, we okay. We good. We good. We made it out of that. That weapon forged against us, it tried to prosper, but we did it. That we buried that.
Yes.
You gotta do that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of power in going to the past and not dwelling on it, like you said earlier, sister. It's not dwelling on the past and I can't believe this happened to me. It's more of, okay, this happened. Why did it happen? How could I have done differently if I ever run into this issue in the future or whatever? And this is how we get better, by looking at our past and saying, okay, I don't want to do that no more. So in order to avoid that, I won't drink, or I won't deal with this type of person when this person reveals their self to me early on. I'm going to walk away this time instead of staying there attempting to help that person. You know, it's all guidance. As long as we use it that way, we can't go
We
wrong.
learn how to respond instead of react.
Mhm.
And there's a difference between responding to something and reacting to something. When you react, that's not thinking, you just doing. But when you respond, you take time to think about it before you do.
Mm,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
good
Right.
point.
Right.
Good
For
point.
sure. For sure. What I noticed though is, just to flip it a little bit, we have a lot of people that's giving power into their past as well. We have people that's using their
Mm.
past to spill out on other people. They're
Yeah,
carrying their past
Yeah.
hurts, and they think that because that happened to them, that now it has to happen to everybody that comes around them. Right?
mm,
It becomes a crutch.
It could become it has become a crutch.
yeah,
Because to be honest,
Yeah.
most of them that's not doing the job of doing that healing and doing that deep soul and that soul awakening, they're basically putting power in their past, and their base. It's why the world is why it is. You know,
Yeah, that they wear it. Some people are wearing the past like a
a book
badge
bag,
of honor. You know
a
what I
badge of
went through? You
honor.
know
Hmm.
yeah,
what I did? That's a,
yeah,
I did this and I
Yeah.
healed, brother, healed my sister.
Hmm.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
Ain't nobody I'm not minimizing what you went through. I'm not minimizing your past. I'm not minimizing what they said was slavery. I'm not minimizing what they said was the Holocaust or any of those things. But heal.
yeah,
I'm not minimizing. You understand? Heal.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that's the thing. When you wear that past as a badge of honor to keep on revisiting it, or think of it for a sympathy party. Like, oh, I'm so sorry you went through that. Yeah, so they're holding on to the past as for a sympathy party.
When I hear sympathy, I hear a validation party, like attention.
yes,
Really,
exactly.
it's a form of
Yeah.
validation. It's a form of being seen, So, let me tell my story. But what I noticed with that is when you start hearing, like you said, though, Dr. Sublime, these sympathy stories from people, they not just telling you their story. At sometimes they telling you what they about to put you through. They telling you what they
You
about to
better
put you
say
through.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, for real, for real,
yeah.
for real, for real.
Yes. And I noticed that, like we were saying with carrying that past, that's how, perversion is born. That's how a lot of this pedophilia is still going on. A
Yeah,
lot of people, like we said, they've been through things that they didn't have control on, where they feel like they can't forgive somebody
yeah,
because, let's say I was a child and what could I have done? They got this ego thing of what could I have done, but it's not really like Spec said, it's not that it happened to you, it happened for you. So not even the fact that you picked up that spirit or that energy, now is to see if you're going to disperse what was given to you back onto the world. And people don't realize that, because that's what you've been through, and you know that it hurt you, and you know that you're hurt by it. Why would you even create another monster? Why would you even create that energy in another field, or keep passing that energy on, knowing how it still to this day makes you feel, but you You know you see wrong and found wrong and what to do because you feel wrong when you do it. But yet you made it a part of your journey. You made it a part of your purpose. Like I don't be understanding that. You know, they say, oh, hurt people, but yeah, they do, but they intentionally do it too. And I'm gonna say that because
I get you.
You know you're hurting from it. You know you're hurt. Like deep, like it don't matter. You are hurting from it. You're hurting from it because you keep replaying it. You're hurting from it because it keeps making you feel less than. You're hurting from it because it's not helping you to get to a higher vibration where you don't feel like you're worth something. But yet, while you're feeling worthless, you're making other people feel worthless because you don't want to heal. Even though you are seeking sympathy for it, or you're seeking validation for it, or you want everybody to know your story, but you're not trying to change your story.
Yeah. Facts. Ah, Shay. Well put, sister. Yeah, because that hurt people. It's like that's almost like a validation.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a badge of honor. Yeah.
They using that as, oh well, hurt people. You know, I was hurt. And like, yeah, I was hurt and I was hurting people, but I decided that this ain't the way, and I don't have to continue what was done to me or do what was done to me. And so because I was bullied, I'm going to bully others. And listen, I need to heal from that pain. And that way I can teach others and show others, listen, we don't got to operate this way.
Exactly.
You know, and that's more important.
And you know, a lot of them are so scrambled in their minds that they feel like it's no way that they can get out of that feeling or get out of that was done to them. But yet we are here to say that I know it's possible because I could have been a lot of things because of how I was born and how I was raised. But I chose not to be because it just never sat right with my spirit. So when I see people that try to like seek sympathy and want to tell their story, I'm going to listen. And I'm going to help you try to heal yourself. I'm going to help you lead into a healing path for yourself. But it's only so long I'm going to keep listening to you tell the same story before I'm going to have to bow out, because clearly that's where you want to be. It's no longer about what you've been through. Now it's about where you're choosing to stay. And I don't have sympathy for that, because I know I dug myself out. So if I could do it, why couldn't you? Why can't you?
Right.
That's it. Facts. But the thing about it, let me give my perspective on that saying, hurting people hurt people. My perspective on it is unhealed people hurt people.
Yeah. There you go. I like that part. Yeah.
I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah.
Because all of us on here have been hurt before.
Exactly.
But guess what? We're healed. So we're not trying to hurt nobody intentionally anymore.
Exactly.
But people who haven't gone through the healing process, he do this to me, so I can do this to somebody else. She do this to me, so I can do this to somebody else. That's an unhealed person.
It is.
Yes.
Unhealed people hurt people.
Yeah. Yes.
And honestly, with you saying that, that's just really give them an excuse.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've been hurt. So, you know what I'm saying? That's an excuse. Man.
Yeah. Making them think that it won't be no repercussions behind it. Now they feel like they don't have no repercussions behind what they do, because
somebody hurt me, so I was looking for an excuse to hurt somebody, and that's it. Any reason at all. And so now,
really, when you think about it.
Go ahead, Hooks.
No, go ahead, guys.
No, you go ahead, sir.
No, I was just gonna say, because really, when you think about it, it really don't make sense. Hurt people, because if you've been hurt, you should now want to make sure that you don't hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could never understand how, like, people that get molested as a child, they go on to molest children.
I mean,
like,
I
to
me,
because they didn't go to the heal. They didn't heal. They didn't go to the healing process.
They didn't go through the healing process.
But that's exactly what I'm saying, because it's like, if it was so traumatizing to you as a child, why would you want to put another child through that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, here's the thing, brother, and I know from experience, like, they carry that spirit. right?
Yeah.
So like you think
Right,
that it's okay. It's like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. It happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And even though I never went that route, I felt it in other ways as far as like homosexuality. It was like, you know, well, it shouldn't be a problem with it, but it was like for me, it just not. And you know, to everybody, to each his own. But for me, it wasn't sitting right with my spirit.
No, I
But
agree.
Yeah.
but I'm glad I went through it and was like, you know, made the conscious choice to say, okay, no, I'm not cool with this at all. You know, and I was young, you know, what they call it, young, dumb, and full of cum. And it's like, okay, I went through that, and now I'm like, no, you know what? That's not for me. And I've had that experience with a lot of different things. It was like same thing with bullying. I was bullied up until I was 11 years old, and then when I started, you know, when I finally started fighting back, and I realized that, you know, I wasn't losing. I've started bullying somebody, and then I realized, like, man, I didn't like it when it was done to me. I'm not going to do that. So I didn't do that anymore because intentionally I didn't want to be a part of that old spirit that was attached to me, you know? And then I made excuses when I got older. Oh, well, I got to get this money. Y'all heard this story before. I got to get this money. I got to take care of myself or whatever. And I would use that to, you know, bully people on the block or whatever and take their stuff that they worked hard for and risk their freedom standing on the corner making all day, you know? And then so I realized, like, that's just not what you're going to do when you start really healing. You're not going to do that. So hurt people. Those are people that haven't been healed. And the doctor said it so sublimely.
One thing Spec said that's accurate is definitely a spirit. It is a spirit, but it's a spirit that when you are of God and you know, like that, it's a spirit that only takes authority if you give it authority. I'm gonna say that
Exactly.
if you give it authority, because when you know how they say you'll be around some things and you'll start getting thoughts that are not yours, it comes in like that. Thoughts that you're wondering, where the hell did this thought come from? But you have to tell yourself, with yourself, oh no, I didn't ask for that, or yeah, we're not doing that, or just shut it down. You have to take authority over that spirit because it's definitely a spirit. That I agree to that 1,000%. So when we say that, like, how can people, because they let that spirit take control of them? Because they let that spirit get the best of them, because they don't understand that it's a spirit, and they know they hear them two voices, and like we said, we know that one felt wrong when we went through it, so that's how you know to fight the spirit. But even though somebody else won't fight it, because even though they know it's wrong, they also have this mindset of that they can get away with it because the person that did it to them got away with it.
Yeah.
Facts.
So
Man,
now 100% it's definitely a spirit, but you have to take authority of that spirit. Because at the end of the day, one thing you got to know is just because somebody else got away with it, you might not get away with that. And at the end of the day, you're also creating a generational line in your family bloodline now. And that's what keeps it going. Like, so we become the generational curse breakers when we take control of that spirit. Now it ends here. But if it don't end here, it's going to keep happening in the house. It's going to keep happening you get what I'm saying? So yeah, that spirit, he's right about that. It's damn sure a spirit.
Facts. Now, how many of us have heard that voice in the back of our mind say, I wonder what would happen if I just cracked this person's jaw while they talking right now, or just something to that effect. That just came to my mind. But you have these thoughts, and it's like, I'll be sitting there like, why do these thoughts come in? And I started realizing why they were entering there, and it's just the whispers, and those whispers, that one may not get through, or it comes through and you hear it, but you may not act upon it. But one of them you will, and whichever one you react to, like this Dr. Sublime said earlier, whichever one you react to, that's what the spirit starts using more and more.
You know what's crazy? You say that because one time, like, it'd be sometimes when I was driving and Sam would say, like, go off the edge or go that way, and I'm like, nigga, ain't nothing over there. Like, what the hell? Like, and it don't be my thoughts though, because I'm not thinking about going up into myself, or I'm not thinking about driving off no bridge. But a thought will come and be like, well, what would happen if I turn that way? And I'm just like,
you guys, you hear that thought too. when you hear that thought, because I've been driving, I've heard that thought, like just go or make the car flip, like in the movie or something, right? And it's like, man, you know you'll survive, right? And I'm like, what the hell was that? You know what I'm saying? So we gotta really pay attention and watch those spirits because they are constantly. They don't sleep. They don't sleep. This is why they say you gotta protect yourself, protect your aura, and get your spirit right. Because
get your conscience together.
And
That's why
that's-
we in control of our mind.
And that's
why
that's why you have to do the work.
yeah,
Renew our minds daily, but that's why you have to do the work. You have to do the work. If you don't do the work, that spirit that could talk to you and literally cause you to tie a rope around your neck and hang yourself. And it ain't worth it. Or take your car and run it into a pole or run it. You understand? I wonder what this would feel like if I just swerve my car in front of somebody else's car. What kind of
stuff like that? Like what?
Yeah. And it come at the weirdest times. It be the weirdest thoughts, and yeah.
And I feel like as your vibration high, it really be trying to play on you. So again, like think about it, we high vibing and we understand what's being said to us. Think about the people that's not understanding their consciousness and not understanding that we hear when we hear the suicidal thoughts and we hear people doing things and they said the devil made me do it or God made me do it. They not really lying. What they're saying is they heard a voice in their head and they adapted to it. They said, okay, let's see. They wasn't strong enough to take control and tell that spirit, oh no, baby, we ain't doing that or shut the hell up or whatever.
Right.
They went and did it. They went and did it.
And it's like this, you hear that spirit so many times. Like if you tell a newborn baby what it is, all the way up until it's 30, it's going to believe that thing, right? Because you've been telling it. It's not until it actually, if it ever finally finds a way to make the decision for themselves to say, okay, I'm not this thing, or I want to be something else, and I'm going to strive and struggle to find my way to be that something else. That's when it actually changes. But if you tell a thing that this is what it is,
that's what it's going to believe it is.
Then that's what it's going to be.
Exactly. And like you just said, it has to take its willpower to decide. Let me seek this journey to see, because I don't believe I'm that. I know I'm something greater. I know it's something else. But it's up to them. Because if everybody else around them now calling them that, they're going to believe that as well.
Yeah.
So that's why the willpower come into play on us being able to, again, take authority over ourselves, be authentic.
Yeah.
Understand our feelings, understand who we are, what we really want to be. And if we decide that what's being said or done is not resonating with us, we have to be okay with going against it.
Facts.
And it's like I said before, if you notice in all these demonic possession movies that they come out with, it's always the person that's at the lowest point in their life. They on drugs heavy, typically they suicidal. Those are the ones that's always easily possessed by those spirits.
Yeah, because that's when your spirit is weak, that's when they're able to get into you. That's when they're able to take control. You already gave up on yourself. So I know I can get you to do what I say because you already gave up on you.
Yeah.
I can take control of this vessel because you lost control of that vessel.
Facts.
Yep. You give another entity
enough.
power to come in. You give another entity power to come in and possess. So when people talk about schizophrenic spirit or somebody schizophrenic or something like that, you got to understand this. The person gave us another entity power to enter in and dominate, have control, speak to them, use their body.
Yeah.
It's
like basically them giving up on themselves and just saying whatever. Like it's just I'm just here. And now they just are walking, I'm just here. Like those people that's really deep and that's really like they just feel like nothing in life can happen for them and life, why am I here? Those are the vessels to control.
Easy to possess. And
I want they're worth anything. The ones that don't believe nobody loved them. The ones that believe they mom and dad gave up on them years ago, and that if they didn't love me, nobody could love. Like,
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm gonna bring y'all back to a movie I think we all have seen with Eddie Murphy. It's called Vampire in Brooklyn, and he as the vampire, he said, you know, his ghoul was asking him, why don't you just become the good cop that was at the woman's side that he was attempting to get to? And he said, I can't find anything, you know, it has to be some remote type of evil, and I can't find anything with this guy. It's really annoying, actually, you know. But in order for him to possess him or to use him, he has to find that doorway to the evil. And this guy's got his stuff in order where he's not, you know, he's not that way. Right. So he wasn't able to possess him, but everybody else he was able to possess. The dude who wanted to be a stick up kid, who was, you know, out there doing crime, the pastor who was drinking and, you know, doing all that. He was able to possess them, but he couldn't do it to the other guy, to Alan Payne, because he didn't have that doorway to evil. The doorway was shut. Right. Not to say it wasn't there, but it was closed and he has no way in. And that, I thought that was a real powerful moment in that movie, because it broke down the truth.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yep. But that's why I can't stress enough that we got to remember, people have to remember, we are really in a spiritual mental warfare.
Yes.
Everything that y'all was just saying, when you really take a step back and think about it, it makes so much sense why the world goes the way it goes a lot of the times, was you always got worried about bills and this, that, or the third, because these energies are trying to use your vessel.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yes, they created a system to pretty much kind of set you up to make it easy for those, you know, those deities to come in and use you.
Exactly. Those low vibrational energies.
Yep. That's why you gotta remember, no matter what you're going through, it's temporary, and you gotta remember that it's something that's trying to use you right now. So hurry up, feel what you're feeling, and do something, whatever you gotta do to raise those vibrations. Get them back up.
Get them back up as fast as you can.
Yeah, that's it.
And I like
most important. The thing is to acknowledge.
Go ahead, Queen.
What J Hug was saying, feeling what you're feeling, is acknowledging it so you could take control of it. But if you just let it go as a passing thought or something like that, it will pass as a passing thought at first, but then it's going to come back again and again and keep on poking until you give into it. But when you hear it as a passing thought and you grab a hold of it and say, hold on, I hear you. Where did you come from? Why did you show up at this particular time? What is supposed to happen for me, or what am I supposed to be doing at this time that you now show up with this thought now show up in my life, so I can now deal with it, so we can deal with it. You understand? Take captive, the scripture talk about taking captive of every vain imagination and high thing that tried to exalt itself. So we have to bring that into captivity. Yes. Only us have the power to bring our thoughts into captivity. Nobody can do that for us. We can go to as many psychologists and psychiatrists as we want, but you have to do the work.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because what you don't control controls you.
Come on, you better say it.
And one of the things about the job situation, that's real, because think about it. You got so many people going to work. All we do is complain. You know how low vibrational your vessel is when you complain every day about a job? Complain. It's weakening you. It's making it accessible. Now you going to work and you wondering why you angry, why you ready to snap at your boss, why? Because something got a hold of you. They was able to access you now. Now they're able to, now you might lose your job, or you might go and snap, and because you're not controlling your feelings, and you also not understanding how to be authentic, because if you really don't like where you're at, instead of complaining about it, you have to be okay with leaving. You have to be okay with looking for something in the meanwhile. No, I'm not talking about just walk right out the door, but we as people don't start searching and seeking more while we're in something we don't like. We complain as if we don't have options to set ourselves free. You're not stuck there. You're not obligated to be there. So if something is pouring your energy that much, where you waking up every day and you're miserable to go in there, that's your spirit telling you to get out.
Get out.
That's why I have days where I literally I don't even want to talk about work. Because if I know Only thing I have to say is about it is to complain about it. I don't even want
And
to
I
talk
don't
about
want to talk about it.
Right,
it. I ain't gonna
right.
do complaining, so I'll just rather talk about something else.
Yeah, because
And
you still
what?
letting it get the best of you. You still
Yeah,
letting it get the best of you. Even while you clocked out, it's still getting your time for free now.
right.
Yep.
For free.
And one of the
Free.
best sayings is, damn, it just left my mind that fast. Oh, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say it at all.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
it makes
Exactly.
sense.
Right?
Makes sense. Because that's what creates your reality. Everything you're saying creates your reality. So if everything you're saying is low vibration and is always anger, what do you think you're going to wake up in and go to bed in?
Yeah. Yeah, that past is powerful. It's powerful in the duality. We got to remember that's the polarity of the past. It could be your greatest gift, how you use it, or it could be your worst enemy, depending on how you view the past and what you do with that information is where the power comes in. It's powerful no matter what, whether you know what I'm saying? It's the
Whether
power.
you're good or you're bad, it's up to
What
you. It's definitely powerful, yeah.
it is extremely powerful, and just veering a little bit off topic, not really off topic because it's still in the past, but we look at like the pyramids. I wanted to mention this today. We look at the pyramids and we say, and we constantly were taught in schools that our ancestors didn't know much or didn't have much technology, and we were using clay stones and clay knives and this, that, and the third, and it was like, no, you're not gonna trick us because y'all hiding all the good stuff, and now that everything's starting to come to light, they're finding actual sculptures of aircrafts. It's clearly an aircraft because a bird doesn't have a rudder. It has feathers at the end of it. And the feathers are horizontal, not vertical. But we're finding wooden sculptures, gold sculptures, and they all actually have rudders that are going vertical, up and down. So there was no way that was a bird. And you're not going to find no bird in history, even in the Cretaceous period, that had rudders or had any type of feathers that were going vertical.
Yeah.
They were all going
But not
horizontal.
only that, you look at talking about the pyramids. Look at how they find underneath the pyramids power grids.
Yeah,
Power grids. And those pyramids was not just pyramids, but those pyramids was also places for power to be, what you call it? Energy to be harnessed.
yeah,
Free energy. That's what you look at all of these old buildings that nobody could explain with all these gargoyles and statues on it. All of them were power grids.
yeah.
Hold up. Wait. So everything that they find and buried that was free energy, they buried it so that we wouldn't see it, so they can charge us for it because it still is free. Don't get it messed up. It's
Yeah.
still
Right.
Yes.
they just buried it and told you had to pay for it and told you that none of that existed in the past, so you want to understand how it was transferred in the past.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
that we
So
are
that's why.
participating in, our ancestors had. Everything.
Yeah.
It's nothing that we
Exactly.
don't have today that our ancestors didn't have then. Nothing.
Right.
The
And they
technology, the
had it at
technology
a
of
free.
the technology of the past, the
Yeah.
technology, the technology of the past is so much more powerful than what we have today. They dumbing us down,
Yeah.
make us feel like we need to have these underground power lines or these power cables running when you didn't need none of those things. All you needed was
Yeah.
copper cables studded in the house, and you harness those power. You
Yeah.
understand that energy? I saw, watch this. How powerful the past is and the technology of the past. There was this young boy who buried coal in the ground, charcoal, and got energy to light up his whole village.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, wait, real fast. I seen somebody put a quarter between two onions and charge their phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
A quarter
Yeah.
Okay.
between
Yeah.
two onions
Okay.
and
Oh,
charge
yeah.
their phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Onions were cut or they was whole onions.
Two whole onions.
Two
They
whole
stuck
onions.
a quarter in between
Yeah.
them and charge their
Damn.
phone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
And see, you know what's crazy is it's not so far fetched because we have to remember the human body can light up New York City. One human body can literally power the entire state of New York, right? And probably more.
I'm glad you said that.
So
I wanted
because
to
of
ask
that,
that question.
imagine what an onion can do, because the onion is alive, a watermelon is alive, vegetables and fruits and trees, they're all alive, so they have to be coursing with energy, right? And we don't look at these things, and once people start to wake up and say, oh my goodness, like all people need to do is look at Nikola Tesla. You don't have to go as far back as ancient times, Egypt or whatever, if that's too daunting for your brain, right? You can go right back to Nikola Tesla. It was only, what, 100 years ago? If that? And he copied something that was from the past. And yes, it may have been given to him, or maybe he found it. Whatever have you, he said there's no need to have any wires. We can have wireless electricity, and we should give it free to the world. And what did Thomas Edison and the U.S. government say? No, you can't put a meter on that, so we don't want to do that. So you ask why your electricity bill, yeah, and those people who out there saying, "Then why is my electricity bill so high?" You now you know where the blame lies, you know, and it lies within us not allowing ourselves to be what we truly are and saying, "No, we're not going to have this anymore."
There you go. Because
but look at it.
Contract with the electricity bill, and do you know that they make up your bills off of assumption? You know, those are assumed numbers. They're not real.
Yeah.
They're not real. Actually, we never read. We're not reading these contracts we're signing, but it tells you that these numbers are assumed numbers, meaning they're assuming and giving you a number of what you could or should pay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I read that. It's in there. It's in
there. And so there's another young man who also he created a television that is empowered by the air, sound wave, I should say. He doesn't have no power plug into it at all. What else he did? I think it was a television. Then he did a vehicle. So you see this technology, this ancient, what we call ancient technology, is there. But it's only way we can benefit from it is by tapping in or looking into the past and why they hide a lot of the knowledge from us. You understand? Mm-hmm. So we do not know how to tap into this free energy or stuff like that. But this is what I wanted it to say. When Spec talk about us as a human being able to light up one of us can light up the whole of New York. I don't know if any of you have yet are experiencing at this present time. Your body literally is, electrifying. You don't have to be touching nothing at all, but you could feel the energy flowing through your body.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is like literally, I could be holding a wooden spoon. It doesn't matter. Just sitting down and literally I could feel the energy running from top to bottom, just running through my body. It's amazing. It's a crazy feeling, but I am grateful.
You know what's crazy too? You know, a lot of people, they've been telling y'all how the government is shut down. And a lot of people don't realize that we can't tap into all these sources that we don't need the government for is because they fear it's shutting down. But think about it, it's shutting down is how we're able to tap into these free water and these free electric sources, be able to eat this food with life in it, right?
Yeah.
Because think about it, if we're supposed to be planting our own food, vegetables, herbs and stuff, and there's a government shutdown, that means that everything they told you couldn't do, you could do now.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Right? It's shut down. So now it's time for you to take authority and take over yourself now. But yet you fear that because you ain't never, you don't know how to do it.
Right.
Nope.
Right?
Because the government is giving you down. So
it has some poison in it, or it has something in it that's holding you back. But you don't want it to shut down.
Yeah.
They dumbing you down to believe that you can't survive or exist without the government because they're giving you so much handout and so much freebies and so much what we think is freebies,
It's
but
I'm
it
about to
still
say
costs you at the
freebies.
end of the
Yeah,
day.
it's not
Yeah,
freebies.
yeah.
It still costs you at the
That
end of the
that
day.
fear of the
Costing your
unknown will
thinking.
keep you trapped. Fear of the
Yeah,
unknown will keep you grounded when you want to fly. So it'll
yeah.
always keep you trapped.
That's the that's the sad thing. You understand? Because you become so handicapped when you just continuously depending on the government to do it. So you don't even know how to function, how to do for your own self,
Hold
because
on,
it's
wait, stay
always
right
it's
there,
like
Dr.
it's like
Savant.
watch this. Those of us we have children. We keep on feeding our child, never allowing them to hold a spoon to be able to feed themselves.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But they listen, but they labeled
You
us handicapped because of it. Y'all know that, right? We're labeled handicapped because the government has authority over us, and we keep voting for presidents, and that says that we don't know how to take authority over ourselves.
Yep.
hmm
So we are labeled as handicapped. We are labeled as someone that's needing a keeper, a carer. There are
mm,
caregivers. They are technically
Yep.
our
wow.
caregivers.
yeah,
Yep.
So when
Facts.
we sign contracts, that's what we're giving them authority to be our caregivers.
Yeah.
facts.
Wow.
Yeah,
Manage me because I can't manage myself.
Yeah,
Government.
yeah,
that's right.
Govern over. That's what government is. Govern over me because I can't govern myself.
yeah. Govern
Yeah,
over my mind because I can't
yeah,
use it for myself.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what was so beautiful about this Russian doctor who was just like, and plus obviously he's in a country that's got less restrictions. You know, I believe anyway. I believe this country has got the most bars on the human mind than any other country in the world. That's my opinion. I don't have any way of proving that. I'm just looking at what the evidence shows and what we see, and how these other countries they're tapping in the trees for power. This African kid completely built an entire car that don't need no gas, it don't need no nothing, and he's driving around in this thing right now.
Yeah.
So they will block and step in the way of any type of progress that prevents them from continuing to keep that monetary system they call money in power in
hmm
this country. So, like, when this
Yep.
Russian doctor was like, let me inject myself with this, and his spirit said, man, this is going to do something good for me. And this brother ain't been sick and ain't had no issues since. Like, I just find that interesting. When you have the power of your own mind, you're gonna make the best choice for you.
dang, that's crazy.
You know, like when I decided to ditch my medications or ditch the flu shot. Right, I used to get the flu shot every year, and a few years ago I was just like, "Man, I'm not doing this shit no more. There's something not right about this. I'm not doing this no more." And I know there's got to be another way. So obviously we're at the age now, right? It may not have been in the 80s, but now today we have what we call, or what we like to call, the information superhighway, and it's right at our fingertips, right? We can go to the library, we could have it on a laptop, but we got it right on our phones if we just do the research, write some stuff down. Okay, let me go look up this book that I just saw online, or someone's referencing this book, and look at all the reviews. It's got 5-star reviews. Let me go check this book out. Or then you hear about Dr. Sebi, or Doctor whoever, and you go and look these people up, and then you realize, oh, take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, mix it, put it in a pot, cook it for a little bit, drink it as a tea. Do this every day, and you won't have these issues anymore. And lo and
Mhm.
behold, it's right. I was like, man. So when I started introducing myself and putting my son on different stuff, we don't get sick the same way. And this one doctor said, we get the people whose immune system strong, they're getting whatever the disease is, but their body's not reacting. Like, you're not having the running nose, the headaches, you're not having any symptoms because your body has already fought it. So once it entered you, like say you walked into a room or a house and everybody in there got the flu, you just caught it, but your body fought it off. So you never notice any symptoms. So technically, you never caught it, right? And so I started noticing that, and like his mom still gets sick every now and then, but she's not copying the same regimen that I put us on, you know, and that's her choice. But you know, when she was sick for like 2 weeks just recently, 2 whole weeks, the same sickness. And he's like, I don't know what happened. I said, I know what happened. That stuff's sitting right on the counter. You don't use it. You know, I make sure my son and I are eating that. You know, I make sure that I'm cooking with the black garlic. I'm eating the black garlic. I'm, putting citrus in my body. I'm eating more fruits. I'm doing all these things and it's helping. So.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say something real fast. When we was talking about, like you said, the fruits and stuff, and I don't think we realize, like, with the government, how they're feeding us death, and how we really are supposed to be eating fruits and vegetables, right? I had saw this video the other day when they said women were using grapes to come back with a positive pregnancy test. Because the grapes have life in them. Think about it. The seeded grapes. Grapes,
Mm-hmm. That's all I eat.
Out, you could replant it, and another grape will come.
Yeah,
so it already has life in it, right? So the women are sticking the test in the grape and telling these men that they are pregnant.
Wow,
coming back positive because of the grape. Crazy. But I just want you to understand the life in the grape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That even be possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know what I learned too, y'all? Here's the thing about fruits, vegetables, nuts, trees, everything, right? I never noticed this before. And I have a picture of it somewhere. I haven't been able to find it, but I know it's buried somewhere. But did you know every fruit or vegetable actually resembles the body part that it actually helps the most?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grapes look like the lungs that helps you breathe in, right? A walnut, you open up a whole walnut looks exactly like your brain. The walnut has over 5 benefits of your brain. It has more, but I know the main 5, and I'm like, wow. Memory, you know what I'm saying? Cognitive ability, energy, and the walnut looks exactly like your brain. And I started noticing that, and it was like, wow. So the fruit was already here telling us, and the nuts and the vegetables, it's already telling us what it's for or what it will help with.
And this is why we got to get back to nature. Again, this is why the government really does need to shut down.
Yeah.
Everything the government feeds us is poison. Respectfully. Even when we go to the animals, we're eating dead animals. It's dead once it sits in that market and they're putting red 40 coloring on it. It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead. Now, it's not to say we ain't supposed to be eating them, but we're supposed to eat them right from when we cut it. It's supposed to automatically get eaten. It's not supposed to be sitting resting. You get what I'm saying? It's like you got to think about it. Everything that they're giving us has no life to it, so it has no substance. And what we need is substance.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So our vibrations to say hi, we need substance.
Yeah.
Yep. With life in it.
Right.
You know, that's why they say you are what you eat.
That's right.
It's a reason they started making fruits without seeds.
Yeah.
I was about to buy some chicken yesterday. Now I ain't ate no meat. Well, I've been eating some tuna and some eggs, but I ain't had no chicken in a while. I was gonna get some yesterday, but when I seen how it looked, I was just like, no, I'm good. Because it looked like it been sitting there for a while.
You know what's crazy,
you know what I'm saying?
A lot of us haven't been eating chicken. Like, my spirit won't let me eat chicken. I haven't ate it in the last 90, maybe 5 to 6 months. I won't eat it. Like, I won't eat it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We all been on that. We all been on that too. Because y'all know I stopped eating chicken when that spirit spoke to me in the hotel down in Atlanta. You know, and the thing I want everybody to realize, right? I want to tell y'all something. It's been a lot more difficult this year to get watermelons at the same store we've been able to get it. You know, all the seeded watermelons are gone now. The bucket used to be full, right? But now they're empty because I've been seeing the same people been walking by me, and I'm telling, because my son, he just sees the watermelon. He doesn't know, and I'm showing him, I'm teaching him, and he's like, oh, daddy, watermelon. I said, yeah, but look, buddy, read it. See, look, SLS. That means seedless. That's fake, right? So people are walking by, and some of them are confused when I first started doing it a couple years ago, but now it's like so many people are gravitating to that, and they want only the seeded watermelon because they hear me tell him. I said, God don't make nothing that don't have that can't reproduce, right? For the most part, there's some, naturally sterile, whatever, it happens, but for the most part, ain't nothing on this planet that don't reproduce. So you shouldn't be eating something that doesn't reproduce. And one brother argued with me and said, well, it has seeds. Yeah, those white seeds aren't, what are you going to do with them? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing with those white seeds? They don't grow.
Basically blanks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So something blank gonna do what to your body?
Blank. Empty, nothing. So, yeah, we found it more difficult to find our watermelon this year as opposed to last year, and it's gotten worse every year, which is a good thing. I'm actually proud of that because that means people are walking that, we see the same people in the store too, because we obviously live in the same area, we're neighbors, and I see these same people who was grabbing up anything. Their carts look so different now because I'm just teaching my son as we go through the store. No, that's not, we don't do that, buddy. We make our own cakes. We use our own sugar. We use certain flour. We're not using none of that stuff that has poison in it, blah, blah, blah. And they're walking by the aisles hearing me tell him this. So they're like, damn, what have I been feeding myself? What have I been feeding my kids? You know what I mean? So now all of our products, we used to be able to go to the store, find it. Now we got to travel different stores to find our stuff because it's no longer available. And it's actually a proud thing for me because I would like for more people to wake up. That way we all have opportunity to, overthrow this regime that's been, embodied this nation for so long, and it's had a hold over us for too long. We've allowed it, but at some point it's gotta change.
Yeah, but
It is
it only
changing.
change. The only way it's changed is when we change.
Oh,
And
shout out
we
to
can
Fred.
we can bend it to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Shout out to who?
shout out to, is that Fizz? Says they always take just the most simple, basic knowledge and try to turn it into like some kind of mystical, ancient knowledge.
Right.
Facts, and it's already been here.
Yeah. And then you notice, like, when you get on this path, when you find out the truth be so simple it make you mad. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
what it was. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be so like, what? Like,
Yeah. That's how I felt when I first found out about the free electricity, that we could get electricity from the earth, from the grass, from the soil, from a tree, and we could power our entire neighborhood from this. And I was like, I just paid $300 for my electricity. But I had to realize, like, okay, don't let it get you mad. Now you know what you got to do. I was mad at first, like you said, sister, and it does get you mad. We vibing at a different rate, so we're like, okay, how do I get to this point? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the next step, is to get to the point where I'm operating in a Tesla-like society with other people, and if I get with these other people and we create something that we can actually live in free electricity, like, I don't want to charge anybody for electricity, I don't feel like that's necessary. If we don't have to pay for all these things, there's so many other technological advances and medicines that we'll be able to come up with because we're not stuck in survival mode. That's
That's
the
it, right? There's so
problem.
many other things you could do.
Yes. Everybody's so stuck in survival mode, kill or be killed, eat or be eaten. And I got to steal from you because my kids got to eat or this, that, and the third. If you weren't stuck in this way, there wouldn't be as much violence. There wouldn't be as much. Not to say it wouldn't still be there, but it wouldn't be as
Exactly.
much right
Exactly.
everywhere you go. Right?
Shout out to Hickma too in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
everybody in the chat.
You know what? I was training with a guy the other day, from India. He said he's from South India, and he told me he never seen a homeless person until he got to America. Because in his
Wow.
country, yeah, he said in his country, if the citizens just don't got enough, the government help them get a place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
He
my
said
God.
Yeah.
Pause right
he
there.
never
See,
seen a homeless person until he got to America. It's crazy.
see,
But yeah,
that's why.
all these other places like India and everywhere else is a third world country though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see, that's why I said what I said earlier. Like, I believe, and even though it's still my opinion because I don't have the definitive proof, but everything I keep hearing, everything I keep seeing is proving more and more my theory being correct, turning into a theorem instead of just a theory, is that this country is the number one of the mental bars and the poison and the lies and just all the hogwash is being put on its people. Right? Because to hear that it just more solidifies my theory that the other countries are, they're a lot more freer as far as you can go and plant this, that, and the third. If you know what I mean, you can have this, or we got you. We're not gonna, because who wants to look at somebody homeless that don't want to be homeless? If a man says, "Oh, I don't want a roof," I'm cool with just my makeshift tent or whatever. That's fine. But as long as you comfortable, you good, you got enough to eat, cool. But they not doing that here. It's like they are pushing the homeless envelope. They're pushing the hunger envelope. Meanwhile, saying that it's a crisis.
And here's the thing though. I don't even think it's necessarily that they pushing the homeless envelope. It's just they want you to abide to their system because allegedly Trump just signed a bill
That said it's
where
illegal.
basically like, yep, homeless it's illegal to be homeless now. But how you gonna just sign that bill when you just get the government shutdown and not a lot of people not getting paid?
But
A lot of
again,
people just lost their job.
because
You know what I'm
remember,
saying?
the shutdown is not the shutdown. Trump playing two sides of the coin right now. And when it comes to the government shutdown, though, for him in that aspect, it's because he wants to run the republic. He wants to cancel this government operation that's running us and basically that has more control over us than it's supposed to have.
Okay.
So
Right.
we go back to the United States corporation and we go to the United States of America. He's trying to get the United States of America. Remember that I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand.
It stands, yeah.
Right? So he's trying to stand in the republic now, and the only way to do that is to end the United States corporation. Remember, it's two different things. So the government shutdown is part of the United States corporations. When we hear about the tax people, they're all private businesses. Me and you could have opened up the tax. What is it called? The IRS. Me and you could own the IRS. It's a public entity. So he's trying to shut down these businesses inside of businesses that's taking advantage of us as businesses.
Facts.
So again, it's a lot with that. On the outside looking in, it look like, that's what I'm saying. It look like it's hurting you, but he, in that aspect, I'm not saying he good because I'm not with the president shit at all. But what I'm saying is, I understand what he's doing in that aspect. He's trying to shut one down to take control of the other and put the other one back in stance. And by him making that homeless stuff illegal, it would go into what the guy said, the government helping you find housing. And them actually is no such thing as nobody being homeless. That's what it would be. Because once you sign your
Okay,
contract, and you have things already paid for you because that's part of the Republic system. But
And
it's just
see,
a lot of, we gotta read. It's a lot of
yes,
things.
I was just about to say that, sister. That you can tell that you've read the stuff that he's putting down because I know I'm reading it, and that's why I get beside myself when I'm watching people and they say, "Oh, he's doing this and Trump's doing." I'm like, "Wow, did you even read how much that will benefit you?" And these people who are in shambles, their life is in shambles. They don't realize what he's doing, and they don't realize what the other side is doing and making it look like they're like, "Oh, they're dumb enough. They're going to believe it. They've been believing us all this time, so they're going to believe that he's at fault and that he's crooked and he's doing this, that, and third." And it's like, you don't even know if you read, the tariff thing.
They don't know what to read. I don't look at, like, when the people doing what they doing, I just ignore it because at the end of the day, ignorance is this. And at the same token, they're not taught these things. I only know this stuff because I went on this journey and I asked for freedom, and Source gave me this information. Everybody's not going to have this information, and everybody's not going to understand it because they are so programmed that they don't understand what opposite of this programming would look like, and I have to give them grace for that. So I don't really, we let them fight for what they think they fighting for, and I'm gonna do what I need to do. But to go back and forth and try to make people understand something they really clearly can't understand because they never seen it, that's like telling, it's people that never seen snow. They come over here, oh wow, this is snow, and so it's like I can't get upset because I get it, and I'm not about to lower my energy to match yours for you to understand either. You can't save everybody, If they want to get it, they will get it. If it's meant for them to get, they'll get. I'm sure they get clips too. Some of them just skip over it and go watch somebody shake their booty or go look at a rapper or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot of reading that has to be done. Like, I've been reading for over 2 years, so this ain't nothing you just read one day and you get it. You gotta really go deep,
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like they just don't understand. So I started understanding that we have to have our own discernment, and we got to let people be what they be and be who they are. However, we do have to
stay in their battles because that's what I can see. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep getting this thing like we can't save everybody. We're not even saved.
Right.
Like, as much as we say, oh, we want the whole planet, but you're not even set up for the whole planet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we really gotta pull ourselves back. And like I said, the universe, the Most High, been telling me that the most. Like, yes, we all are for humanity. Yes, we all are for the people, but we can't be for the people before we become part of the people we trying to be for. We're not there. Like, we just not. I know I'm not. I would be lying if I said I was. Every time I get information, I'm rushing and sharing it out, and I haven't even applied it yet. So it's like I gotta stop doing that. Like, I have to first let me rescue me. At least that way, when I talk it, you're gonna see me walking, and you're gonna want to follow. You're gonna want to know what I read and what I got into, because I'm not just talking about it. I'm showing you in real time.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, and that's what's so important about the tribe. We're building this here digitally, but we know where it's going in the future physically. We know where we're headed, and people are gonna have different areas to look to and to go to and to say, how did you do this? How did you do that? And we'll be able to actually present that as an option and say, listen, this is how I did it. If you interested, this is the path I took. And we gotta push the envelope of reading and telling people you gotta read. You got to read. You gotta really dive into something if you want to understand it or understand it as best to your ability. And that's what I started doing because I didn't like dude. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't with dude at all. It was just, but I was listening also to everybody else, the rhetoric, the news, this, that, and the third. And then I like my sister. I love my sister. So when she was like, we don't read, and I was like, man, I used to read a lot. I'm gonna get back into that. So I started reading, when she mentioned, we don't be reading these contracts that we signed. I was like, man, I gotta start reading more. She's right. You know, I fell off from reading. So ever since I started doing that, I'm reading the things that this man's signing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, this is gonna this is what we've been waiting for, right? But on the other side, other people are like, I can't believe he's doing this. This is making everything work. But it's like just like the tariffs, as an example. At first, it's a hit because it's gonna be upside down for a minute. And it takes about a good 6 months for it to actually level off and for it to start to make sense. But people don't know that because they don't read that. So automatically they just say, oh, everything's going up. The price of everything's going up. And you don't understand that there's companies right now, they're moving to the U.S. They've already started. They moved to the U.S. They're building factories right now because they want to avoid those tariffs. Guess what that does? Brings more opportunities, jobs, and cheaper products for you because it's being made right here and it don't have to be shipped across 20,000 miles of water, right? So
let me tell you though, the biggest thing that our purpose to get to is understanding that we don't need a president. So I don't
Right,
vote.
right.
I don't believe in voting. I don't believe that should be a thing because we are here to have authority over ourselves. So the knowledge I'm seeking and the understanding and the freedom that I'm seeking for myself and those that are willing to follow me is to understand that they are their own president, right? So it's going to get to a point that nothing he signs will affect you because you are already an authority of who you are, where you belong, and you know what you are capable and available to do. It's not
That's
about
it.
what somebody
Point.
telling you to do. Nobody needs to tell you to do anything. You didn't come here to be led. You came here to lead. Right. So again, when I say, I can tell you what he doing, but that don't mean I'm with nothing he doing because he's playing two sides. He still ain't it. I'm gonna let you know that now. Now he helping, but he also still got a job to do. So in that job of him helping, he still has some destruction set up for those that believe in him as well. But I don't get none of that. Like I don't follow none of that. I'm trying to get in my own presidency. You know what I'm saying? In my own world. My world. That's just me and mine.
Yeah.
So that president stuff, trust me, we don't need that. That's not part of what we came here to do. That's not godly. You know what I'm saying? That's not of God. I think that you need a leader outside of that's the only leader he said. He said no other gods, no other lords, no other king. You know what I'm saying? So we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
And you right about that. We got to put the power back in ourselves. We're constantly looking for an outside source for the healing and the saving, and that's why we've come up with these Supermans and this, that, and third. But we missed the main ingredient to a lot of these so-called superheroes that we watch on TV. They've all said you can be the hero. You know what I'm saying? Like they've all said that. Even Smokey the Bear said only you can prevent forest fires.
There you go.
Right? And so I love that saying because it's so true, and I use it to every aspect of my life. Only you can prevent forest fires. Right? Because it's your forest. Somebody else is letting their forest burn down. That's got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You can still prevent that forest fire from connecting to your property just by throwing certain substances, water or whatever, or putting up a fireproof wall or whatever if you have to for the time being. Whatever you could do, you can still prevent that from even coming over to your side. Yeah.
You can also look at it as fire, as in your anger, your emotions. Only you can prevent how you react to things. Only you could prevent if you perform to certain situations, certain people, places, and things. So yeah, that's actually a good.
Yeah.
Good because fire mean emotions.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow
let's throw this video on because we already halfway through our podcast and yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say this real quick. I just want to respond to this person in the comments. They said, as an Indian, I also hate Trump. Gotta stop you there. I can't tell if you a man or a woman, but gotta stop you there, family. We don't hate nobody over here. We have bad.
Right. Yeah. We don't even like that each word. Honestly, we don't even use that hate.
Hate got too much power in it. Hate got too
Yeah.
much power in it. We
Right.
don't do hate.
We don't like that word at all, really, because it only breeds more of it. You know, I like the word love. I like the word abundance because then I breed more of that. You know, and in the beginning, when God said, "Let there be light," there was light. So we all have that power in us. The word is powerful.
Yeah, but I understand what he was saying. I understand what the commenter was commenting, though. Like in our sense, we don't say hate, but for me, I wouldn't say I hate Trump. I would say I don't acknowledge Trump. You get what I'm saying? He's irrelevant.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Or like you were saying earlier, sister, we don't acknowledge the presidency that they put in place and put over us, or that we allowed to be put over us, because we as the people allowed that.
But we get what you're saying. But
Yeah.
Hate got a lot of energy attached to, a lot of power.
Yeah,
That we not giving away power just to anybody. We being careful. We're mindful of who we give power to.
Right.
So, you know, we ain't giving that to him. We ain't giving that
Yeah,
to him.
and that includes words. But yeah, let's I'll definitely go ahead and play this short, play a couple of these shorts real quick. And
he injected himself with a 3.5 million year old bacteria, trying to find the secret to immortality, and the results are fascinating. Anatoly Brushkov is a scientist who in 2009 found an ancient strain of bacteria in Siberia's permafrost that, when brought back to the lab, was shockingly still alive. So he started testing it on animals and crops, and the results were promising, with the mice getting an improved immune system and living longer while the crops grew faster. He also noticed people living in the region where he found the bacteria lived longer than average. So he decided to inject himself with the bacteria. He said after his injections, he had more energy and seemed to have an improved immune system, as he didn't get sick once for multiple years. He injected...
Huh.
You sound like Christopher Columbus. They just said that he already found that the people already living there where he got the bacteria from.
Yeah.
Already living long, and they never. So that wasn't. But
and I'm glad he said like he found it in the permafrost instead of I invented this, you know, because that's what somebody over here would do. You know what I mean? That's exactly what somebody over here would do. And this is another clip of the same gentleman, just a different perspective from a different creator.
A Russian scientist injected himself with this ancient bacteria to see what would happen. Dr. Anatoly Brushkov discovered bacteria deep within the permafrost of Siberia that was 3.5 million years old, and somehow it was still alive. It was named Bacillus F, and after doing some experiments on it, he realized the bacteria not only seemed to be immune to aging, but also appeared to have a life-extending effect on almost every organism it touched. Dr. Brushkov was so convinced, he said f*** it and injected himself with the ancient bacterium to test it out firsthand. 2 years later, he reported dramatic improvements to his general health, claiming to need less sleep, working longer hours, and just having more energy in his day-to-day life. And I'm sure Big Pharma loves the idea of a miracle life potion that would potentially lose them billions of dollars a year in revenue, so we definitely should not question any articles that debunk this find. These effects aren't exactly 100% confirmed and could very well be a placebo effect, but if they can manage to isolate the gene responsible for the positive benefits of the bacterium, they may have just discovered the ultimate elixir of life. A Russian scientist.
So y'all see the difference in the perspectives and what they actually mentioned. And I think it's interesting that the second guy was like, big pharma would love to get their hands on something. Yeah, they would love to get their hands on it and splice it down and have you coming back and back for more, because they don't want to just heal the world. They want to get you to keep coming back, keep going to the pharmacy for the rest of your life, and they're gonna put something.
Listen, that wouldn't even make it to small man. That's only what be stay to the top, to the small, to the few. They'll never make that down to just to the small market. That'll be on top. They call it top chef. You
Yeah,
know?
but here's the thing, sister. You know, like they do with everything else, they put stuff in it that's going to give you more side effects, right? So they have
Mm-hmm.
all these different healing substances, like even aspirin and Advil, right? If they actually gave you the plant properly, you would never need to worry about the pain ever again, right? So
Okay,
they
let me ask you,
go ahead.
who benefits who benefits from the healing gene from that lady? Was she named Helen or whatever the name is of the woman who they take her genes or her without telling her family? It wasn't just wasn't the average person benefiting from those things?
No, well, they're gonna keep the concentrated dose for themselves, but they're gonna put
Right.
microscopic doses in big pharma. That way, it'll help you with this, but then it's causing liver damage. Now you got to get something to fix your liver, or to give you headaches. Now you need something for your severe migraines, and the list goes on and on. And that's what they do. They take something and they have the answers to everything. I'm not gonna say the C word because I don't want to get this video, flagged, but they literally have the answers. And what they do is they like to lessen it, right?
But not only that, that C word, all you need is sour sop. You got natural things that you just
Yeah,
take to eradicate that
right.
multiplication of that in your system.
Yeah. And
And
those are the
that's
same.
basically, so you don't got to take no drugs. A
Yeah,
lot of times, what
that's what they're
happens
making
is because
out
we've
of,
been
though.
so, what, watch this. A lot of times, what the biggest bewitchment is to bewitch people to think that they need pharmaceuticals to heal. Pharmaceuticals only to maintain, and that's it. There's no healing, and no
Right.
pharmaceutical you take is to heal.
Yeah,
Everything
Yeah.
is just to suppress the
that's right.
symptoms, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. And they're making a lot of these things out of the substances that we know that actually help. Like ginger helps your stomach bitters. But why do they put 0.05% of ginger in ginger ale?
Right.
Because
You
they
see
know
what
the
I'm
power of
saying?
ginger. Gin,
It- it-
gin, ginger is a free radical that heals inflammation and all these different things. So,
yeah,
to be honest with you, they tell you they put that inside there, but in actuality, that is a ginger flavor more than it is
yeah,
ginger that they put
exactly.
inside,
Yeah, yeah. And see,
Placebo
which is an
effect.
Exactly.
artificial, which there again is an artificial flavor.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. And
because
placebo effect. Because
when
look
I
at how
put
we think that really works for us.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because when I make my
Yep.
ginger soda, my ginger beer, you can see the pieces of ginger, the flakes of ginger in my water. There's ginger in my water right now.
So I was actually watching a video, and the video was saying like a lot of them sedatives and a lot of them pills and stuff that we talking about that the pharmaceuticals give us actually
Yeah,
lowers our vibration. It actually
yeah,
keeps us from rising and keeps us to having these spiritual awakenings.
yeah.
So
That,
that's
Yep.
another reason why the pharmacy and why the hospital is running this business. It's not just about keeping you unhealthy, but it's also about you not reaching that God inside of you. It's about you not being able to
That's
cut
it.
off this government or cut off this illusion that they
yeah,
created. It's actually to keep you in an illusion. What I found
Now,
out,
so now, watch the.
what, mhm.
Go ahead.
What I found
Go
out within
ahead. Go
the
ahead.
last 3 years of me getting on this journey, once Source took me into being a healer and showing me that I'm a herbalist and I can heal things and people, is I'm actually a walking cure. Like I myself am a walking cure.
Mhm.
There you go. There you go. And so now that's what I'm gonna say. Now the power of the past, because now you tap into your God self, the power of your past of who you are. And so in terms of being a healer and talking about the healing in terms of this pharmaceutical aspect, the power of the past in terms of medicine and being healed is knowing that the herbs are for the healing. You understand? You could go within yourself and your cell regenerates based on if you eat a piece of ginger, it could regenerate this particular cell. If you eat a piece of peppermint, you could do this. If you eat a soursop fruit or if you drink the tea. Like right now, what I am doing, because I'm on my healing journey also, is I'm not just drinking bare water or just flavor water. I take the cinnamon stick and I put it in my water. I infuse it, or I put clove in my water and I infuse my water with clove, or I put what you call it, star anise or some kind of spice in my
Yep.
water that I know can heal a
Yep.
particular area and not just drink bare water to say,
Yeah.
oh, I'm drinking some water because I'm thirsty. Drink what they tell you, drink 8 glasses of water. What they don't tell you is drinking those 8 glasses of water dehydrates you. It does not hydrate you.
Exactly, it do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And shout out to B Sizzle in the chat said, I don't understand people that hate others whom are trying to make everything better.
Well,
Shout out.
I don't think it's a sense of don't people actually hating others. They're just programmed. They don't really
Program. Yeah.
Your program.
see they can be helped,
Yeah.
so they don't see how you're trying to help others. People like that are usually they fall into that category of unhealed people. They don't
Yeah.
believe in healing, so you trying to push healing don't make sense to them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah. And it's so like the Matrix said, they're so inherently dependent on the system that they will actually fight to protect it.
Yeah.
So they really don't know not what they do, you know? And one thing I want to mention, yeah, and I don't know if y'all, y'all probably have the same thing, but you know, I haven't had a toothache since I stopped using fluoride.
That's it.
Ain't that crazy? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, the fluoride's supposed to, you know, strengthen your teeth and do this, that, and third. And it was like, I haven't had a toothache since I stopped using it. I used to get toothaches at least every 6 months or so. Like, you know, my teeth would ache or a tooth would ache or something like that. And once I realized like the fluoride was so poisonous and I stopped using it, I ain't had one since. That was some years ago.
I actually
I got a question though. I want to go back to the first video real quick. What did the guy say he got that bacteria from? Y'all remember?
Yeah, it was from Russia. Man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Man, I forget.
Well, anyway, what came to mind to me from the first video was, what if all that bacteria he put in himself is bacteria that we had generations ago? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And all the stuff that
that's what it is.
With these shots and vaccines and all that, it's what took all of that that bacteria out of us. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what happened, because
shots and all that stuff for years.
Look how long we were living. You know, even in the biblical context, we were living to be what's the name? I forget his name. He's 900 years old. You see what I'm saying?
Methuselah.
Yeah, there he is. There it is. Methuselah was 900 years old in the biblical. So, you know, like these stories aren't just somebody not just sitting around making up these stories to create a Nickelodeon special. You know what I'm saying? These were actually stories that were passed down that says, okay, this person, you know, did this person did that. And not all of it is true, but when you start putting everything together in context and you start putting the puzzles together, it's like, okay, this has to make sense. Because now, here, right now, in real time, we are, like Dr. Sublime just said, we are healing ourselves and we are consuming different roots and herbs and spices and different things that are helping us become better, helping us become super, right? I feel superhuman right now, you know, or I'm getting there.
Because you talk about the toothache. When I had a toothache the other day, let me tell you, that clove, somebody mentioned clove inside it. That clove is a powerhouse when it comes to removing a painkiller. Clove is a natural painkiller. When you chew on it, or you make it into a tea, or you make it into an oil and rub it wherever, clove is a serious natural painkiller. So yes, we got to know
Yeah.
how, go back to the past and learn how to heal thyself. Know thyself and heal thyself.
Yeah.
I wanted to say
That's right.
something. Do y'all
Make sure
remember?
y'all smashing that like button, y'all. Smash the like button, chat. We appreciate y'all being here. Go ahead,
Do y'all
Queen. Go ahead,
remember,
Queen.
do y'all remember when they said that in China they dug up the dirt and they found another world under the world of civilization living down there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
another what you
So
call it? Yeah, another
so
ecosystem.
um Hooks just said something that brought that up because the illusion, what if the illusion is death? And again, it's because of everything that, like he said, they put in us when we're born. Because remember, we was never born in hospitals. That just came about.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
able to now get us in hospitals, shoot us up with all these vaccinations, give us dead animals, give us dead food, and knowing that we are what we eat and certain things that they put in us is killing ourselves. What if only this part of the illusion is dying off because of the plan and because of what they created for us? But that
Yeah.
civilization that's found underneath us, they've been here for over whatever years because they're still living on the lively things, the things that, and living in the good bacteria things. Because how are
Right.
they able to find a whole underground civilization talking about how tall they are, how it's a whole nother world? They ain't got no doctor, they don't got no hospitals under there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A
I
whole
get so
different
irritated
ecosystem.
when people act like we just gonna cease to exist if we stop having jobs and hospitals and stuff. Like, okay, so what were we doing before all of this?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like people like this stuff has not been, these hospitals and jobs, it has not
Yeah,
been
it never
around since
existed.
forever.
Remember, we did barter exchanges. You had something I wanted, I had something you wanted. We would exchange. We would meet up and we would exchange.
Yeah.
We would have babies. We would have them in our home. And we
Yeah.
would write the information down on a book or on a piece of paper or what they said, maybe a Bible. Because
That's right.
I've been told that the way that we're having babies in the hospital is wrong. We're not
Yeah.
supposed to be laying on our backs. We're
Yep.
supposed to be squatting to have
Yeah.
babies.
Yep.
We're not
Supposed
supposed
to be
to be laying on
squatting.
our back.
Yeah. Shout out to B Sizzle in the chat. He said,
Man,
or
shout
I
out to
don't
BC.
know, they said put clove on a toothache or eat it for lowering inflammation. That is so correct because that's how I first got on my journey. I was getting toothaches and I couldn't understand why. Now I know it was the fluoride, but my brother was like, "Yo, chew on some cloves, put some clove right on the tooth, wherever it is, and put it up, in between your tooth and the cheek." And sure enough, it helped because I just did not want to go to the pharmacy to get something to aid in the toothache. And I said, I have to figure out another way. You know what I'm saying? And I go to the dentist and I'm like, yo, no fluoride. I don't want no fluoride. And there's one dentist who actually likes that and started giving me different ideas and stuff. Like, I'm like, wow, this person, you know what I'm saying? But this person, if they advertise that, they're going to get shut down. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of go and present it and be like, "Look, I want no fluoride." Then they be like, "Oh, you don't do fluoride?" Then he starts sneaking you the game. Like, listen, do this, and this, and blah blah. I'm the same way, but he can't speak that because he's gonna get shut down and he's not gonna be able to help anybody there. Well, he still can, I think, but in his mind, you know what I mean? That's probably how he's thinking it. But yeah, shout out to this brother in the chat or
Yeah.
sister,
Yeah, definitely
whoever
shout
it
out
is.
to B Sizzle. Hey, B Sizzle, I got a question for you real quick. You said I have been told to keep my mouth shut because they not ready. So you been going around dropping some gems, huh? You been telling some truths, huh? I'm glad you came across this channel too, family, because
Yes.
we can all relate to that over here.
Yeah. And we love to have people who love to be here.
Yeah, tell him he could tap into be a guest on our channel if he want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Based
Yeah.
on what he's saying in these comments, he or her saying in the comments is definitely seem like they can bring some knowledge. So he said learn some lessons. Yeah, I could tell, family. I could tell. Um, yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah. Yeah, clove don't kill. You so right. It's amazing how
That's right.
like some of these substances they don't really, some of them never decay. You know, some of them won't harm you, and you could eat a bunch of it and it won't harm you. But they got this thing like if you take too many aspirins, you gonna perish. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're gonna perish if you take too many. And it's not that way. If you go to the actual active plant and you eat the whole, like a whole, you don't need that much, but say you ate the whole plant. You're not gonna, you know what I mean? It's not gonna unalive you. That's the insane thing that people aren't putting together. We gotta start putting the math together and putting these puzzle pieces together. Because B Sizzle got a piece of the puzzle. Queen Oracle got a piece of the puzzle. I got a piece of the puzzle. You got a piece of the puzzle, and we put that puzzle piece together. We form a community and a nation that can actually really do some good healing. And that's where it's at. That's how they did it in the past. That's why I'm glad when B Sizzle said it was better before. You could tell it was better before just by studying your history. They didn't have none of the issues that we have now. They want us to believe that we were crawling on all fours and living in caves and this, that, and third. Listen, man, I don't see that. I just don't see it. When we was in caves, we was in there to meditate, and we wrote on the wall what we saw, and when we astro projected, and we seen this, that, and the third. We wrote on the wall what we seen, and that's what we used the caves for, because they probably felt the caves is to be protected from the weathers, right? From the nature, and over time, those writings and drawings would still be there. That's my opinion. And you go to the pyramids, look, they
already been
still
shown again and again. The ancient technologies. So that myth is been busted.
Yeah.
That's over with.
Yeah. Shout out to B Sizzle saying I'm getting big chills, and we were once together. Ain't that the truth? We didn't have to speak before. We spoken about this before in the past. The power of the past. We didn't have to talk. What the Empress Oracle said. Talking was invented so we could start lying to another person. But when we weren't talking, and we were just mentally tapped in and using our telepathy, it was a different ball game. And that's honestly, in my opinion, I don't know how they were built, but that's how I think the pyramids were built. I think we used ancient powers that we knew about, and we all banded together because there's this video about this village who they clap a certain way, and they're able to raise the vibration to a point where this rock that fits perfectly inside of this cave that's up on a hill, it will raise and go up in that. And they've proven this just by the vibration. Like if you ever watch a jackhammer, that's when they're cutting up the road, the jackhammer, if you put a camera and slow it down next to the rocks that are around the jackhammer, they never touch the ground. They're floating in midair. Because the jackhammer is.
I gotta cut you off real quick, God. My bad, brother. I gotta cut you off real quick. He said, anyone know of Billy Carson? Bro, you gotta check our channel out a little bit more, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta check us out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna tell. I'm just gonna ask you to check us out a little bit more. You're gonna see.
Yeah. Definitely look into our channel a little bit.
Yep. We running out of time, fam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we do. We cook every Sunday, B Sizzle. Make sure you show up, man. 1 p.m. We here every Sunday or whenever you can. And that goes for everybody. Make sure y'all smash the like button. Tap in every Sunday. This is what we do. And we want to bring glad tidings, and we want y'all to help us do it.
So something just came to mind, guys, that I think we should do for November, since November about to start. It
Okay.
said no low vibration November, meaning that we
Ooh.
meditate for at least 45
Come on.
minutes a day, every day in November.
You said do what for 45 minutes?
Meditate.
Meditate. Okay.
Yes, keep our vibrations high. So that
Okay.
way, that's what meditation does. It keeps your vibration high. However you need them, it's no wrong or right way to meditate. So meditate.
Yes. Yes. Thank
But
you for saying
set your
that, sister.
timer for 45 minutes. It don't matter what time of the day. Just make sure it's that day. That day.
Yeah.
Before 12 o'clock hit
Okay.
that next day, meditate.
Yes.
At least take 45 minutes out of your day, all in November. And let's
And
meditate.
Okay.
make sure everybody listening, man, pay attention to what she said. No wrong way to meditate. There's no wrong way. So whatever your spirit feels, whatever your spirit's telling you, do that thing. Because if your spirit is the one that's going to respond to it, not anybody else's. You know,
Exactly.
what I eat is not going to make you use the bathroom. Remember that.
The point of it is to keep our vibration high, to keep raising our vibration, because that's the only way we're going to call in again. That's the only way we're going to align with this path and this purpose of getting more right knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Learning more lessons, being able to release things and not let things attach to us that don't serve
Yeah.
us. So all in
Right.
November, no matter what's going on, take 45 minutes out of your day that day to meditate. And at the end of November, we're going to see like how our vibration is, if anything happened and we were able to combat some things, just see
Yeah, I like
how
that challenge.
getting on that journey kind of changed us or directed us in a new direction, or how we was able to see things a little differently.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
I like that challenge.
no low vibration November.
Yeah.
I like that. I
Right.
like that. We gonna do it. Yep.
So even at 45 minutes, that's the only high you got. Trust me, that 45 minutes of high vibrating and meditating on your time, wherever you seek to find yourself to meditate at, that's going to be your highest point of vibration that day, even if it's just that time. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah.
Hey, B Sizzle, you gotta come back for real, for real. They said find inner peace. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
It's about
That's
that
right.
inner peace.
And
Even
be
being
simple. Before you
happy.
go, I got a present for you. Before you go, just in case, I know people we get busy, this, that, and the third. So I just want to share something with you real quick, just to kind of answer your question a little bit. And I pray that it answers your question. So let me see if I can. Yeah, that's it right there. All right, so just real quick, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Give me just a moment. B Sizzle coming into the chat for the first time, coming into our channel, and loving that they here. Just give me 1 second, B Sizzle. Let me get this thing together for you.
High Vibe Tribe. Make sure y'all go check them out online. Check out their social media. High Vibe Tribe. Thank you. Tap in.
So I certainly hope that answers your question, family.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yes, we definitely know Billy Carson, and we rocks with everybody who's just being their authentic self. And we definitely rock with you. And we here every Sunday, man. Every Sunday we doing this, and we do our best to give our perspectives on things that are going on, things that could be going on, how we deal with it, how we overcame, how we overcome, and we're constantly finding new ways to heal ourselves through our body, mind, and soul. So we're glad that you resonate with it, and we appreciate you being here. For sure, for sure.
For sure. Yes, we appreciate you.
Yes. So on that note, we about to get ready to tap on out. I don't know if we're gonna give our little finals on what is it?
Yeah, absolutely. If y'all don't
Power
mind.
of the past.
Yeah, the power of the
Man, the power of the past. So let me, I guess let me go first. Yeah, yeah.
Lord,
So
Lord, Lord, Lord.
for me, the power of the past is being able to reflect, being able to learn from it, being able to apply, being able to strategize and see what they've used in the past to keep them with long life and longevity and to heal versus what we're doing now. Also, the power of the past is being able to do the shadow work on my own self and the things that I need to learn from, even in the different things that I've experienced. And so our past have so much powerful story. I don't even want to say his story, but story, her story, his story, that we can learn from and we can apply. Um, and I would always tell people too, don't be ashamed of your past. You understand? A lot of times people tend to, because of whatever situations and circumstances, they become ashamed of their past. But use your past to catapult you. Use your past to cause you to supersede where you at. Because as we now know, past, present, and future all run parallel with each other any which way.
Yeah.
And so we have to be able to be at peace. I could take a piece of Queen P as I always do now. We gotta stay present. We gotta stay present. You understand, and not allow staying present to cause us to run away from what has happened, but use what has happened, what our ancestors did, because it's in our DNA, in our Akashe records. It's in us to learn, unlearn, and to relearn, to be able to reapply what they did at an even greater level. Because when we look at some of the things from our past or from the past and what our ancestors did, and we realize they did great work. And we now supposed to be able to do greater works. Are we doing greater works when we start thinking? You know? So for me, family, learn from the past, unlearn what they taught us, and relearn what it is we need to use to go forward. And as I always say, be gentle with yourself because we are on a journey. Much love, family.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Who wanna go next?
Oh well, I guess I'll go. She done said everything though. I don't really know what. Yeah, I'm saying the biggest thing, like she said, I feel like what stood out to me was the shame. Don't be ashamed of your past, because to be ashamed of your past is still not to be over it, and it's still not to feel authentic with who you are going towards your future. And one of the things I heard is that if you want to know what you were like in your past, look at where you at in your present. And if you don't like where you're at in your present, then it's only right you have to go back to release the things that are holding you still there, still stuck, still not okay with whatever it was. And the biggest thing about the past is learning from it. You have to learn from it, because the past always teaches you what not to do today, right now. So it's okay to have a thought of what was, what happened, but don't let it break you or beat you. You're only remembering what happened so you won't walk that same path. You're only remembering and replaying that situation because something came up to remind you and to tell you to do something differently. So you don't want to hold on to things that are not raising your vibration or things that are not making you better. If you're holding on to anything that's making you feel less than, then that's something that you want to let go today. That's something that you no longer want to give power to, because the more you give power to it, the more powerless you are. Yeah. And every day you wake up, you're supposed to be walking in your authentic power and your authentic self, being your best self, your greatest self. And nobody has control of that but you.
Facts.
Right? So, like I always say, stay present, patient, and positive, because when you're present, you see what you're going through. You see what you're holding on to. You see what needs to be done. When you're positive, you see what's bringing you down. You see what doesn't need to have control over you. You see where you need to build that. And when you're patient, you're willing and you're able to heal. You're willing. You're able to start again. You're able to do it again. And that's part of the journey. Like that's going to always be part of the journey. We are teachers. We are students. So you need to know when to change hats. And if you're not changing hats, then you're not on the right path. right?
Shit.
So I want everybody to have a great day on purpose with purpose. And again, stay present, patient, and positive. I know some amazing things are going to happen to each and every one of you watching today, tomorrow, whenever you decide to watch this. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Let's start living.
Yes. Shay. Man, it's like one of us go and we're like, man, she said everything or he said it all. It's like we're unable to, not saying unable, but it's hard to follow. And we go through that every week, depending on who. It don't matter who go first, but we always run into the situation where it's like, man, how am I supposed to follow that? But we do our best, you know, and that's the whole thing. You know, that's what makes this platform so great. That's what makes this community we built so great. And you know, shout out to all of you guys and for the chat and everybody for, you know, participating in this, because it takes a village and it takes a real community to, you know, to create something like this and something that's beautiful and powerful. So, you know, as far as the power of the past, that's how they operated. And all I have to say as far as my perspective on the power of the past is we're bringing it back with the High Vibe Tribe. We bringing back that power of unity, that power of connection, that power of alignment, you know, and spiritual awakening. And the more we continue to keep doing this and keep pushing this the way we're pushing it, and everybody has a voice and everybody has their time, and we are respectful and we're loving and we're gonna create amazing things, and abundance is coming to us and the community that wishes to be a part of this. So that's all I have to say about the power of the past, is that we are now bringing that past into the present with the High Vibe Tribe. And I am Speculum Ambulo. I want everybody to remember to look in that mirror for the change you want to see and love your journey, because we are on a journey and we got to stay present, patient, and positive. So we love using each other's sayings, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I love it. You know, that's just because it's so real. It's just that powerful. So thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all smash that like button, and make sure y'all hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And we here every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm now going to give the floor and the microphone to Jay Hooks, the Great.
Appreciate you, my brother, my bro. God, shout out to my goddess sisters, man. Y'all killed that.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna keep it real simple, you know. Looking at, after having this conversation with my tribe, my family, you know, looking at the past is just like anything else. You know, you can it's perspective. It's which lane you wanna, which route you wanna take. So you can take the past and you can look at all the negative, or you could take the past and you can look at all the positive and use those positive memories to, you know, build yourself up and remember your strength, your greatness, your resilience, and everything else to keep that high vibration and that strong spirit that you need to have in order to continue to elevate. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to say. Y'all do it.
Ashe.
So we meet again, gang, next Sunday.
Yes.
Right.
Till we meet again. Peace, family. Peace.
Let's stay in high vibes, guys.
Yes. Remember that November.
Get ready for that challenge. Yep. Get ready for that
challenge. All gonna be glowing.
Yes.
Yes. Peace.
Peace.